Developing tonight, we are uncovering Colorado students as young as 8 kept in these rooms the size of a small closet.
The kids in a local school were put in isolation for an entire day as punishment for weeks at a time.
Call 7 investigator John Ferrugia is here tonight asking why this was allowed to happen. John?
And it's called Alternative to Expulsion. It's a program aimed at keeping disruptive kids in school, and that's really a good idea. But after finding out how kids were being treated, we traveled to the Center School District in the San Luis Valley, asking if the discipline goes too far.
I had the dreams that the walls were closing in on me and that they were squishing me.
Renee was put in one of these 4x6 rooms for 8 weeks.
We went in the box and I closed my eyes and I put my head on the table and I took deep breaths to calm myself down.
Yvonne spent 7.5 hours a day sitting in a chair facing the wall, completing worksheets.
I walked in there and I saw where he was at. It was heartbreaking.
Cora is Yvonne's mother.
He's not an animal.
When she reluctantly agreed to the program, she says that she and other parents were never told their kids would be put in what was basically a closet.
If I would have locked him up in a room or enclosed him in a little box in my house like that, it would have been considered child abuse.
The first thing I thought of was these kids are being tortured.
School board member Phil Vares says he first found out about the severe isolation program in the spring, simply by chance.
We walked in, no adult supervision at all, turned the corner, and he said, these are the 3 cells that we have.
He learned that children as young as 8 years old have been put into these rooms for weeks, and the program had been going on for years.
They want to break the kid. If you break a kid, that's not changing the behavior.
He protested to the State Board of Education, his own board, and the superintendent, who agreed to remove doors from the rooms. Kids that were in this program last year weren't treated right.
I agree, yes.
George Welsh is the longtime superintendent who has provided consistent leadership that has steadily improved education in this small rural district. In fact, the School Superintendents Association named him Superintendent of the Year in Colorado. Welsh is committed to keeping kids in school.
I've lived here when kids were dropping out, when they were expelled into their homes, and I saw the graffiti and I saw the gangs.
So in his zeal, he established the Alternative Expulsion Program, but never defined any rules around kids in solitary. So kids in small rooms were often unsupervised, got no exercise, and got no access to counseling.
Unfortunately, we made some mistakes.
After complaints from parents and 2 members of the Board of Education,
we've codified those things we expect in the program,
including counseling services, exercise twice a day, eating lunch with others, all aimed at a single goal.
Keep kids in school, get them back into regular school as quick as possible.
But those changes came too late for kids who suffered weeks in solitary.
I never cried. There was one time I got emotional, but I didn't cry.
Larger question here is, how could such a flawed program go on for so long? Now, the State Board of Education was notified about the program, but it took no action. Why? Well, our investigation continues. In the newsroom, I'm Call 7 investigator John Ferrugia.